Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and today we have my A to Z of TBR for November. If you are new here or if you have just stumbled across this video series for the first time, this is my TBR game that I play every month to select the books that I will be reading for that month. I will link the playlist down below if you want to get familiar with kind of how it works and see some of my other months. But basically, I have a letter die that I roll 5 times and a set of prompts. Here is the list for November. And basically I use the two to build a TBR. You'll see kind of how it works as we go. I won't go into all of the details here, but yeah, that's the general gist. This is month number 4, I believe, of doing this TBR game. And I'm definitely still really enjoying it, though I am already thinking of ways that I can sort of revamp it and make it even better for 2021. So definitely stay tuned. I'm gonna implement some new changes and just kind of small tweaks to make it a little bit more what I was intending, I suppose. One change I did make for this month is that I finally put all of my books into a spreadsheet so I can like easily sort them and not have to like use the clunky methods of like Goodreads and just scrolling through my phone and whatever. So hopefully that will make this easier. Like I said, this is the list of prompts for November. So we've got 5 prompts as usual, starting with, as always, the color prompt. My November color is green, so a book with green on the cover. Prompt number 2 is to read a book by an Indigenous author. This is in honor of Indigenous Heritage Month. The third prompt is to read a book from a subscription service. So like I've mentioned before, I do subscribe to Book of the Month, and I also subscribe to the Feminist Book Club, which is you can either get just a book every month or like a full box of goodies made by really incredible small businesses, and it's just an amazing service. I will link it down below because I think more people need to know about it. And then number 4 is to read a backlist title. For me, that just means anything published pre-2020. I feel like I've been reading a lot of 2020 releases this year, which is great, but I would like to read some more that have been on my TBR for longer. And finally, the 5th prompt is to read a book with an animal on the cover. Pretty self-explanatory, though I think this might be challenging. So without any further ado, I am going to roll the die. We are already off to such a good start. B was one of the letters that I wanted to roll because I have an audio copy of Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I actually got an advanced listening copy through Libro FM, so I'm so jazzed I could fit this in. I think it's already come out. Yeah, it came out on the 13th. I just didn't get around to listening to it before publication, so I'm really happy I can listen to it this month. I'm just gonna read you the Goodreads summary because I don't really know much about it. I've just been hearing so many good things from so many people, and I'm really excited. The summary starts with what looks like a little poem. A god will return when the earth and sky converge under the black sun. In the city of Tova, the winter solstice is usually a time for celebration and renewal, but this year it coincides with a solar eclipse, a rare celestial event prescribed by the sun priest as an unbalancing of the world. Meanwhile, a ship launches from a distant city bound for Tova and set to arrive on the solstice. The captain of the ship, Ziala, is a disgraced teak whose song can calm the waters around her as easily as it can warp a man's mind. Her ship carries 1 passenger. Described as harmless, the passenger, Serapio, is a young man blind, scarred, and cloaked in destiny. As Ziala well knows, when a man is described as harmless, he usually ends up being a villain. Crafted with unforgettable characters, Rebecca Roanhorse has created an epic adventure exploring the decadence of power amidst the weight of history and the struggle of individuals swimming against the confines of society and their broken pasts in the most original series debut of the decade. Whoa, that is such an intense synopsis and like blurb. I'm so excited to read this. Like I said, I have the audio copy, so I will be listening to this throughout the course of the month, although I probably will start it sooner rather than later because it sounds amazing. I'm also really happy that I was able to pick my Indigenous author book first, so I will fit that into the TBR board and then roll number 2. Okay, well, this is really easy. I only have 1 book that starts with K, and that is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. This is kind of the first book in a spin-off duology from the Grishaverse, and it follows the character Nikolai, who we meet in the original Shadow and Bone trilogy, I believe, and it came out in 2019. I was so excited for it, and I still haven't gotten around to it. So with that being said, I think I'm going to have to use this. Well, there's kind of a animal on the cover. I can't really tell if this is like actually a bird or if it's just feathers. I guess there's like a dragon up here. I think I'm gonna use this instead for a backlist title because I don't really know if this like counts. It feels a little, I don't know, whatever. It works well for backlist title as well. Like I mentioned, it came out in 2019 and I just have been putting it off. So I'm actually really happy to have this one added on because I've been really wanting to read it. If I remember correctly, not only does this book follow Nikolai, but it also follows Zoya and Nina, who are from previous Grisha books. So I'm really excited to see their perspectives and see what they're up to. And I remember really liking Nikolai, although at this point it's been a while since I've read the original Shadow and Bone trilogy, so yeah, I don't know, but I've seen some pretty mixed things about this, a lot of pretty mediocre reviews. Oh my god, the sun, it's been rainy for like 3 days straight, and of course this is the one time the sun comes out. Anyway, very mixed reviews. I've seen a lot of 3-star reviews of this one, so I don't know where I'll fall, but hopefully I love it. So we will put that on the board for a backlist title. And now for rule number 3. You will not believe how many W books I have on my TBR. Like, that seems like a letter that would be really hard, but I have been waiting for a W to come up because I have so many books that start with W, and oh my god, it's almost like really intimidating to try to pick one. But I put this book on my fall TBR, so I'm gonna go with this and pick Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I'm going to use this for the prompt of reading a book with green on the cover. The whole background, everything about it is pretty green. I honestly don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. This seems to be a like love it or hate it book, which makes me really intrigued to read it. Although I've been so in the mood to try it out lately for whatever reason. My sister loves this book and I have a feeling I'm going to love it. Spoiler alert for my October wrap up, but I read Horrid by Christina Leno, which is a horror book, and really loved it. This is body horror, and that's a really intimidating category to me. But basically this is about a group of girls who have been put under quarantine. Great. And I think I'm just gonna read you this. It's been 18 months since the Raxter School for Girls was put under quarantine, since the talks hit and pulled Hetty's life out from under her. It started slow. First, the teachers died one by one. Then it began to infect the students, turning their bodies strange and foreign. Now, cut off from the rest of the world and left to fend for themselves on their island home, the girls don't dare wander outside the school's fence, where the tox has made the woods wild and dangerous. They wait for the cure they were promised as the tox seeps into everything. But when Byatt goes missing, Hetty will do anything to find her, even if it means breaking quarantine and braving the horrors that lie beyond the fence. And when she does, Hetty learns that there's more to their story, to their life at Raxter, than she could ever have thought true. I heard, like I said, people either love it or hate it. I've heard the ending is very polarizing, and I love kind of just seeing where I fall and things like that. So I will be putting Wilder Girls on the TBR board for a book with green on the cover. And then rule number 4. Is it just me, or does F feel like it's coming up a lot lately? I feel like I had F last month and maybe even the month before as well. I don't really remember, but anyway, I'm going to choose one that I actually had as an option last month, and that is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. And obviously I'm going to choose this for a book with an animal on the cover. There's a fox, an elephant, a cat, an otter, a dog. There's also animals on the back too, so this works perfectly. This synopsis is very long, so I'm not going to read all of it, but I did kind of give an overview of it in the last video, so sorry if you're hearing this for the second time. But our main character, Alex, is kind of going through a rough period. Her sister Anna was murdered 3 years ago, and the killer was never, I don't know if they were never found or if they just got off or what, but basically that kind of just has led Alex to be very upset. She also kind of just fades to the background, doesn't engage with a lot of people in her hometown, and she just, yeah, feels that she can't trust anyone. We also have Jack Fisher. He is star athlete, valedictorian, yada yada, very popular, and he somehow plays some sort of role in Anna's death and feels like he, I don't know, has a lot of guilt around that. And then we have PK, the preacher's kid. She and Alex start working together at an animal shelter and they form a friendship. And then it says circumstances bring Alex, Jack, and PK together as their senior year unfolds. While partying one night, Alex's darker side breaks out, setting the teens on a collision course that will change their lives forever. I feel like this is one that got kind of mixed reviews. A lot of people saying it's really intense, obviously. I think there are a lot of trigger warnings. I'll see if I can find a good review that lists them, and I will link it down below and tell you whose review I'm using. Like I said, I've been wanting to read this for a while. I've had it on my shelf. I think I got it earlier this year, and it's just super intriguing to me, and I don't really know what to expect, but we're gonna find out this month. So we will put The Female of the Species on the board for a book with an animal on the cover. And then roll number 5. All right, so I rolled a second K. If you are unfamiliar with the rules of A to Z of TBR, the second time I roll a letter, instead of finding a book that starts with that letter, I find an author whose first, middle, or last name or any initials start with that letter. So that's really ideal for this because I don't have any other books that start with K. So we are now gonna switch and look for authors that have K in their name. I'm gonna turn the camera off for a minute and sort through my books because this is gonna take a little bit of time, I think. Actually, wait, this worked so well. I forgot that the last prompt that I have to fill is to read a book from a book subscription service. So I only have to look at those books. And I have Hood Feminism, Notes from the Women That the Movement Forgot by Mikki Kendall. I got this from the Feminist Book Club, and I'm really, really excited to read this. I've heard it's absolutely spectacular. It's essentially about intersectional feminism versus white feminism and how often people claim to be feminist or organizations claim to be feminist, but it's a very white feminist lens. So this kind of just takes on that intersectional viewpoint and points out some of the ways that white feminism really leaves a lot of folks behind. Okay, the lighting is getting really weird, so we're gonna quick wrap this up, but Hood Feminism is going on the board for a book from a subscription service. And here is the final TBR plus Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I am not gonna lie, I'm really, really excited by this TBR. To be totally transparent, I filmed this TBR once already and was just like not feeling inspired by the choices that I got. So I decided to redo it and I'm feeling so good about it. I do want to mention a couple other books that I plan to read this month. First and foremost, I'm so excited, is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang, and this is the third and final book in the Poppy War trilogy. I will be buddy reading this with Lily from Lily Eleanor Reads, and I think I'm going to try to vlog it as well because it's going to be a ride. This, like I said, is the finale, so shit's gonna get real. I don't think all of my faves are gonna make it out alive, and I'm just like not prepared. I would also really like to read Latsue by Darcy Little Badger. This is one of the books by an Indigenous author that I was really excited about and hoping to maybe get on the TBR, but obviously that didn't work out. But I'm still gonna plan to read it. I am getting this from the Feminist book club. That it was my book for this month. I think the actual book for November is Braiding Sweetgrass, but I have a digital copy of that, so I wanted to get something else. Feminist Book Club is really awesome. They allow you to switch out the book if you've already read it or if you already own it. They have lots of options. You can also, I think, skip a month if you need to or want to. I just love them a whole heck of a lot. So again, I will link it down below so you can check it out for yourselves. I don't think there's any like referral code, but if so, I will link that below so that we can each benefit a little bit, hopefully. Okay, hi, I'm editing the video and I just checked and I do have a referral code for Feminist Book Club. It only works if you buy the full box. It won't work if you just sign up for like the book only option, but it will get you $10 off your box the first time you buy it, and will give me $5 to spend on their shop. So just full transparency, I do get a little something from it, but I highly recommend checking it out. And if if you are interested in getting the box, my code will be in the description box. But anyway, I'm so excited for November, and I will likely be adding some other things to my TBR. Also, if you have any books that start with K that you want to recommend me, I now have no K books on my TBR, so that feels like it could be a little treacherous. If you have any to recommend, let me know. I would be very, very grateful. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on my next video and you don't miss out on future rounds of the A to Z of TBR game. But until then, happy reading. Bye.